water stocks are almost depleted. Got bad fever coming. You can try planting seeds, but perennials would be better.
How do I start those?
Try cutting
Pilgrim.
young shoots.
Heard you were the
I
curious.
thought farming would be less complicated.
I taught myself everything I know.
Haven't seen my kids in months because of this ridiculous blockade of the center.
What did you study?
Romance philosophy.
I don't even know what that is.
Pilgrim.
Sometimes I
How's
wake
your
up at
powers
night
holding
and
up?
forget the fall
I have a
even
cousin.
happened. It's about the only time I smile. Then I see the goddamn.
Hey, watch where you're going. What a day. No frigging way I can do it.
Hey, bro.
5 years of learning and all for nothing.
Easy money?
I just have to get it right
Easy
this
enough.
time. Alberto needs to be. I'm good at.
What's the problem?
Hey, aren't you the pilgrim they wanted to hang? Man, you were in luck there. I could use some of that luck. I'm Alberto's apprentice. Not for long, probably. It's the third time I'm taking a shot at this test. If I fail again, Craftmaster Alberto's gonna kick me out.
Hey, what's a craftmaster?
You're not from around here, right? Craftmasters are people who invent new technology, design innovations, all sorts of gadgets that might help in combat. Alberto's the Grand Master around here. Like I said, I'm his apprentice. People laugh at him, that he's slow and not very eloquent, but he's a real friggin' genius.
What's this test about?
Our goats. They're kept in cages because they eat crops. But life in cages makes them sad, and they give less milk. So I came up with the idea of a fence, energized with just a tiny bit of voltage. That would keep the goats under control, but let them produce more milk. I called this invention the electric fence.
Yeah, that's a little rough. Stressed goats can give bitter milk.
Seriously? Goats get stressed?
Wouldn't you, if someone electrocuted you and then went for your crotch?
Oh, no. It's only a very small voltage. Won't do more than tickle them.
So, what seems to be the problem with this invention of yours?
I just need some electric parts. I'll dismantle them for resistors and other useful things. I'm missing a few parts, and they're not that easy to get. I'm worried I won't be ready on time. Maybe you could help me. If you find them for me, I'll give you one of my super cool inventions.
Nothing to do with goats, I hope.
Nah, something much more interesting. You'll see. As far as I know, they could be found in two places. One's an old hardware store on Fitzwilliam Place, near the water tower. Alberto says they'll be there for sure. But it's a dark place, full of turned creatures. You have to go there at night.
And the other option?
Whatever's left of military patrols. I know of one place south of Horseshoe, near the old electrical substation.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. But I can't promise anything.
I would be very grateful.
Parts for Carlos and his groundbreaking fence.
Even happened. That's
Hope he's still waiting at the bazaar.
Hey.
How's it been, kid? Got a taste for city life yet?
I've been here and there.
You know, the best parties always happen in the center. And that's where we're going. I have a plan for how to get there. I'll tell you everything on the spot. Meet me on the roof, near the main metro station.
Here.
I don't know how to thank you. One more thing. Could you help me set up my show? My installation's right outside the main entrance. Turn it on, please. I'll go get Alberto. Wait till he sees it. Meet me by the goat pen then, near the wall.
Haven't seen my kids in months because of this ridiculous blockade. Center. Fuck me. People will always complain. We're alive, and that's what counts. Civilization's but a whim of circumstance.
Have you ever planted chamomile? It's good for digestion.
Chamomile? Hell, I can't even get none of the sprout.
Maybe try fennel. That'll even grow some concrete.
Everything all right?
No, it's grilled. The goat is grilled. I'm such an idiot.
What happened?
I must have overcalculated the voltage.
See? He's useless.
I'm sorry. I don't know how I could get it so wrong.
I told you it would be a waste of time.
Why? I don't think so. This is very... It has big, huge...
You're saying it has potential?
Potential, yes. It could be an effective weapon.
A weapon?
It's a ready formula. If you just use it on a weapon, it could raise your odds against turned creatures. The brave goat gave its life to science. There's dinner for everyone. And you? I take you as, and pronounce you,
Craftmaster? Really? Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you.
We'll talk later. Come, Vincenzo.
I can't thank you enough. Here, take this. If it's not strong enough, come around to my Craftmaster workshop.
Sure, thanks. Just, watch yourself out there, okay?
No worries, friend.
Haven't seen my kids in months because of this ridiculous blockade at the center.
And so, I took his kid there. Did you know the little girl is only 6 years old? His family is famine.
Supposed to be...
There's a term for what came next. A crisis of faith. And with me, it started long before the epidemic. But when people started to turn into monsters, when city after city was eaten by darkness and poison, I started to wonder, where is God? Is he putting us through a trial? Or has he abandoned us? When Black Monday came, I no longer had any doubts. There is no God. There never was. Because of the THV Genmod bombings, 2 million people lost their lives. The streets carpeted with human corpses. What God would allow that? He would have to be infinitely cruel. Of course, other so-called men of the cloth offered nonsensical observations, that this was the will of God, punishment for our wickedness, that Colonel Williams himself served as the hand of God. But that didn't matter anymore. The curtain had been torn off. People lost their faith. Because what were they supposed to believe in? No one wanted a God like that. And in that moment, to my own surprise, I felt free, as if I were a puppet who finally cut the strings that controlled him since birth. Free at last.
Sometimes I miss my father.
Yes, it's the military training of a teenage girl. I hated it. But it was
vacation when everyone starts talking about you.
You sure do. Craft and
You work
carry
too much.
only the finest. Take your pick, son. What a choice! You can see the quality, yes?
Thank you.
You don't know her. When she sets her mind to something,
I don't want to end up drinking my own pee. Someone's got to do something about the water situation.
Just because you got holes in your shoes doesn't mean you're poor. If you got no one to lean on, that's when you know you hit rock bottom.
Have you seen a ginger... with a mohawk?
I keep telling everyone
Bastard
we
stole
should be
my
getting
last
ready
bottle
for
of
winter.
water.
what were you even thinking?
I've never seen someone buy figuring out how you're gonna pay me back.
Aiden,
Quick.
you've traveled through the Outlands. Any other
You
cities?
have
in
such
Japan?
well-kept hands.
Thanks.
Come on. Don't recognize me? Or are you allergic to making money? Listen, Pilgrim. We can make a killing, you and me. You just need to get me some beets, radishes, parsnips.
There he is. Grab him, Ed. He's a murderer.
What?
Julian, Luke's been poisoned. From the water you sold him, Bevan says.
What? But I don't sell water.
Liar. Luke told me he got it from you. Whatever's in it has him ranting and raving now.
You sure he didn't blame me after he started renting?
I wouldn't call it proof, but he was just trying to rope me into some shady deal.
All I need to know. You're done, Julian.
Oh, wait a minute. Do you have proof?
Of course. The water came in a bottle. Luke got that water in one of your bottles. When I tell Carl about this, you'll hang!
Bevan, wait! I swear, I don't even sell water, damn it!
If you're lying, Julian, you're fucking toast.
Sometimes I wake up at night and forget.
Wait, so then, if you're not selling water, how'd someone get a hold of one of your bottles?
Knowing that shithead Luke, he probably stole it. That would be like him. Even if he did, my water's pure as melted snowflakes.
You sure? How do you store it?
I buy bottled.
There's no way it could become contaminated.
Not a chance. My supplier, Marco, always has clean water.
So, maybe it's revenge.
For what? Everyone loves me. Never had an enemy in my life. Wait a second. Wait. Shit. Except maybe Marco. That bastard. Come to think of it, he's got an axe to grind for me. It was a long time ago. Never mind. Listen. He lives above an old shop on the west end of Villador, on Houndfield Lane. I traded him a few kilos of my finest flour for the water. Prove he poisoned it, and half my flour is yours. Can you do that for me?
I guess I could check it out.
And there's one more thing. I'm a little embarrassed. Hans might also have a bottle of this water.
I thought you weren't selling it.
I'm not, except, well, to Hans, and can you go warn him? He's also on Houndfield, a few buildings down.
Something's fishy about this, Julian. Look, you better be telling the truth, otherwise it'll be hard to help you.
I ain't leaving the bazaar today. The wind's blowing from the east. That's a bet. I knew this would come. Carl and Ellie used to live above the antique shop. They were like 8
My wife was a nurse when this city was still called Villador. She was among the first to go when THV hit us in 24. I miss her every day. Sometimes I wake up at night and forget the fall even happened. That's about the only time I smile. Then I...
At the age of 23, I became a priest. Still just a snot-nosed kid, and I was supposed to be a shepherd of souls. I felt I was meant for this. I had answered the call. If God was with me, then who could be against me? I was full of conviction, faith that I could make the world a better place. But the world had other plans. Many times, I performed someone's last rites. I held their hands as they died. And in that last moment, in the millisecond before their last breath, I saw in them relief. Not because they were moving on to some kind of better world, to heaven, but because it was the end of something painful. They could finally bow out of the futile and exhausting dance of life. Their chore of living would be over. Their suffering would end. It was something completely incomprehensible to me. How can a person reject the gift of life? To accept death joyfully. For a person as strong as me, this was something very disturbing. Or maybe they knew about something that I had not seen? Did they see it in their last moment? This was the first crack in the edifice of my faith. And then, the epidemic started.
Stay out too long, I get the feeling that there's no one left in the city. And then this horrible fear overwhelms me.
I'm recording this for posterity, so they can learn from my mistakes. To warn all who follow about the worst of plagues. And I am not referring to the virus. I was born into a very religious family. My earliest childhood memories? Prayer. Every morning and every evening. Knees scraped from constant contact with oak floorboards. When I grew up, I had a very hard time. I was lonely. I suffered. Despite my upbringing, I turned to religion for solace. It gave me the answers I sought. That I came to realize my father had tried to give me. To endure bullying is to earn heavenly rewards. God was my best friend, my only friend. I talked to him every day, and I believed that he listened to me and answered and loved me too. I felt like I owed him a debt. And that's why I enrolled in seminary. I think I became a fanatic in a way. The urge to spread his teachings, convert others. It was not about God. It was about my own shortcomings. It was about me. There was something unhealthy about it. And dangerous.
Fuck me, people will always complain. We're alive, and that's what counts.
Bill! How's New Paris holding up? I have a cousin there.
Find something you like in the bazaar?
People seem to like him. Not the one who killed him, I bet. I met Lucas several times. For a PK, he seemed accessible to me.
Maybe that was his problem.
Well, if he was, he didn't show it.
You can try planting seeds, but perennials would be better.
Wet. Aren't you an optimist?
Fortunately, doing good comes easy.
Not from Villador? I've lived here forever. Maybe that's why I'm
After the Black Monday massacre, most people lost their faith. So did I. But it only took a few years before some people started to form cults that adapted elements like old deities and pagan faiths. They even started performing sacrifices, thinking someone would send them rain. People need shackles. They want to be controlled, lied to. They want someone to tell them how to live, what to do and what not to do. They prefer this to taking responsibility for their choices. Some researchers think religion is a linguistic virus that alters brain function and suppresses the ability for critical thinking. I repeated the same trite phrases for years, not thinking for a second about what I was actually saying. And what I was saying was mostly about instilling a feeling of guilt. It all dripped in evil, punishment, penance. Disgusting, oppressive baggage pressing you down into the dirt. But I tossed it off, as did thousands of others. The epidemic was a tragedy, but also a tremendous opportunity. An opportunity to fully free oneself from the bonds of religion. To stop believing in fairy tales and instead believe in yourself. That's what Francoise used to say, and I supported her vision. I joined her movement. Together, we can create a new community based on reason, mutual respect, empathy, and cooperation. One with room for everyone, including you.